Fighters are cheering for former UFC champion Cain Velasquez after new details emerge following his arrest. New details unfold following Cain Velasquez's arrest. Former UFC heavyweight champion Cain Velasquez was charged with attempted murder of a suspect accused of molesting a close relative. A new cell phone video obtained by NBC Bay Area apparently shows Velasquez chasing after the man he tried to shoot. According to a police report, Velasquez chased the pickup truck of accused Harry Eugene Goulart for about 15 kilometers at high speed in his car, rammed his car, and then shot him with a .45 caliber pistol, injuring Goulart's 63-year-old stepfather, Paul Bender. At the same time, Harry Eugene Goulart himself, like the third person who was in the car, did not receive any injuries. The tragedy is that Mr. Velasquez chose to take justice into his own hands, endangering the public and those in the car, Santa Clara County District Attorney Jeff Rosen said in a statement. This act of violence will cause even more pain and suffering to his family. MMA fighters and colleagues of the former champion voiced their support on social media with the hashtag #FreeCain. Junior Dos Santos posted on Instagram a picture of him and Cain in the octagon and said, "We shared the dream of being first and winning as opponents. Today, as parents, we want to ensure the well-being and safety of our families. We still have a lot to learn about this situation, but I believe that anyone in his place would do the same. May justice prevail and Cain return to his family as soon as possible. #FreeCain." Josh Thompson, a close friend and longtime teammate of Velasquez, recently spoke about Cain's arrest on an episode 232 of a Weighing In podcast.
I want to address this real quick.
Right off the bat.
Right off the bat, I want to address this real quick. I am really good friends with Cain. I will not say anything about Cain. I will not talk about what's going on with Cain. Everyone knows that he has 100% of my support. I don't need to say anything else. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to get into details about his personal stuff, and this is really, really directly to family stuff and everything else. So this is not my business. This is no one else's business. Let it all play out, and everyone knows that I have his support. And that's all I'm going to say. Yeah, we just live in a culture that is quick to judge people, and I'm not going to. I just don't want to put it out there, you know. And I know I have actually been sent. I have been sent the reports, and I know exactly, and I've talked to him and his family, but that's not my place. I just want to show that I have nothing but support for him, and I'll always support him.
Nate Diaz threatens Logan Paul on Twitter. In a recent interview with Ariel Helwan, Logan Paul talked about future plans for his younger brother, Jake Paul. "I'd love to see Jake fight Nate Diaz and then eventually Conor McGregor," Logan told the MMA Hour. "I think that would be such a cool fight, man," Logan said. Nate Diaz tweeted, "Logan, how about I beat your ass instead for doing that to your brother?" UFC 272 press conference wrapped up and it was not friendly at all. Here is a small part of a heated exchange between former roommates and friends. Covington said, "This guy's illiterate, a dick fuck. Didn't graduate middle school? You're illiterate. You can't even count. You're a dumb fuck. You forget about your children? You deadbeat motherfucking dad. You're a deadbeat," Masvidal said. "He usually keeps his little bitch well hidden from me, man. Little bitch, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up." Covington said, "You lying ass piece of shit. You lying ass piece of shit. Fuck bitch." Covington said, "What bitch? You're a phony Montana. You're not Tony Montana. You're a phony Montana." Masvidal replied, "You've still got mad herpes, bro. Still got mad herpes." For the prediction of the fight, Masvidal said, "It's going to be him sniffing my dick the whole time, like he always does in every fight. Dick sniffer. Dick sniffer, dick sniffer, dick sniffer. You sniff dicks for a living, bro." Michael Bisping and Anthony Smith give their UFC 272 main event prediction.
Yeah, what do you think the possibility though of Masvidal catching him? You know, and I don't necessarily mean knocking him out, flatlining him. I don't think Colby's ever been knocked out, but dropping him, hurting him, and then following up, because that's Masvidal's key to victory. Because I never saw that happening against Darren Till. I didn't think he would do that. Darren's a bigger guy. Granted, he was at 170, so that weight cut definitely probably affected him. And Masvidal landed a sweet shot, you know, and I think that's Not that I'm just saying he has a puncher's chance, because he doesn't have a puncher's chance. He's a technical striker. He will set that up. He will, the man knows how to fight. He's savvy. But essentially, it's kind of the wrestling with the high-paced cardio, a high output, lots of punches to set up the takedown against Masvidal. That's going to have a pure striking offense, in my opinion.
Well, fortunately for Masvidal, Colby's only real way to victory is to have to take him down. And again, fortunately for Masvidal, that means he's got to come within arm's reach. Like, he's got to come close enough to touch him. So he doesn't have to worry about trying to chase Colby down. He doesn't have to worry about Colby's going to come to him, and he's going to do it often and a lot. So, and Colby's not afraid to kind of exchange in the firefight a little bit. Now, again, they do know each other very well, so I don't know if Colby is going to change that. But my one knock on Colby is that he is almost too high output. Like, his hands, he throws so many punches, they're never at his face long enough to protect it anyways. So that would be my biggest knock on him, is that defensively, he's not that responsible when it comes to striking. He just walks through, kind of wades through the fire. You're not going to be able to do that with everybody.
All right, so what did you say? Did you give a prediction? Masvidal?
I tried to get out of giving one.
I was going to say, I'm like, hold on a minute. You said a lot of things, but you never actually said anything. Like, I'm like, get off the fence, bro.
Man,
get off the fence.
I got to go Masvidal. Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Joe Rogan is back commentating for the first time after facing controversy. Longtime color commentator will return to the broadcast for UFC 272 on Saturday after missing UFC 271 event following controversy on his podcast confirming UFC President Dana White. Yeah, he'll be there, UFC President Dana White told Barstool Sports on Wednesday. Rogan is on this week. Cormier is off, White said in the recent interview. Former double champion of the UFC and now podcaster Daniel Cormier won't be commenting this weekend due to the passing of his mother. On his Instagram, former champion shared heartbreaking news about his family. I cherished every hug, Mom. We saw some great things and had great times. Now you get to rest and be with Dad. You touched so many lives, and everyone that knew you were better for it. You were the foundation of this family, and you will be greatly missed. I was lucky to have parents like you and Dad. My kids were fortunate to have you as a grandmother and Selena as a mother-in-law. We are so sad and hurt right now, but know you've given us all the tools to continue to live life to the fullest. You were a wonder to the world, Audrey Cormier. I'm lucky to have been raised by you. Rest easy, Mama. I love you so much, Daniel Boone. And that is it for our latest MMA news. See you next time, and be safe.